George Mallory and Andrew Irvine were two determined climbers answering the most common question in mountaineering circles. Why climb Mount Everest? Mallory once replied with disarming simplicity, "Because it's there." This phrase became a mantra for all who dared to face the fury of the ice giant. Thus, their quest in 1924 was simply another attempt to conquer the beast. As they shoved their boots into the ice, Mallory and Irvine discussed their tactics. "So, Andrew," Mallory said, "I've been thinking about how to prevent others from catching up with us. What do you think about starting to climb backward? That way, no one will see which way we went, since we'll be indecisive anyway." Irvine laughed and replied, "Maybe we won't even need to worry. With a storm like this approaching, we'll be the only ones insane enough to continue." Mallory winked. If he were to stop because of a storm, he would have stayed home and left a poster of Everest on the wall to admire. The fateful day arrived, overcast like good sweatshirts from the 50s. Henri the Yeti watched from afar, wondering what flavor those two well-seasoned humans climbing would have. By ancestral beliefs, those who wear multiple layers of clothing to get here must be cooking something good underneath, he thought. Of course, the entire climb involved a lot of repetition of, "I'll see you at the top if I don't find another detour." But the peak of the drama occurred when Mallory realized he had forgotten to tie his bootlaces at the right height. "Irvine, I don't know how we're going to tell this escapade to history if my master plan unravels my boots right at the summit." As the storm engulfed the cinematic snowstorm panorama, disappearing into a sea of silence and whiteness, they pressed on, and their fates, like a good cereal, were covered with the icy crunch of historical uncertainty. Decades passed, with theories robust enough to create an entire bookstore of apocalyptic books. After all, when someone is 75 years late, speculations become the automatic update. In 1999, a group led by amateur climbers searching for Where's Wally found Mallory more frozen than the night he promised to chop wood. Mallory, they found, was missing the famous photo of his wife, which he had sworn to leave at the summit. "Ruth, my love," some imagine he mumbled in his eternal sleep. "Everest has hidden me in a beautiful place, but the view has left me a bit frozen." Each revisited anecdote did not reveal where Andrew Irvine had gone or any trace of his presence. Of course, some said Irvine was planning a definitive entrance at the first intergalactic mountaineering conference. Judging by his lack of traces, no one could say otherwise. And so, searches were plentiful. With advanced technologies, state-of-the-art whistles, and binoculars better than my cat's eyes, climbers lined up, asking the same old question of, "Did George make it first?" Or, "Did he just enjoy having the best ice party in history and ended up tripping over the curtains?" And Mallory, now a speaking memory among metaphorical speakers, still whispers from the winds of Everest, "I climbed because it was there, and I left a riddle for all to ponder about these heights, which sometimes are more than just a physically high place." The search will end when the snow stops falling, but as long as it persists, there's always something to be found, even if it's just a sense of purpose, boiling more than the last cup of tea Mallory never got to drink. Somewhere out there in the spirit of Everest, a distant echo is heard. "Rising star." I'll be ready for the next climb.